Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Amar and I am the founder of ForensicMCQ.com. Today in this video, I am going to cover some questions from 2023 December exam. And without any further delay, let's move to the question number one. So question number one, arrange the following in the sequence within the firing range. A, electrical detonator. B, main charge. C, electric current. And D, booster. So the question really want to ask is how a detonation takes place or what are the steps involved. So as you know, for any detonation, the first is the source. So in the given option, the source is the electric current and followed by the electric detonator. So electric detonator converts the electric current into spark or heat to set up the booster. So the third option is the booster. So the booster amplifies the heat or the spark produced by the detonator to finally initiate the main charge. So let's move to the options. So the for this, as you know, the first is the electric current, which is option C, followed by A, B, and D. So the correct answer will be the A, C, A, D, and B. Let's move to the explanation part. As I already told you, electric current is the source here, and electric detonator works as a converter that converts the source, or you can say electric current, into the spark or heat that is needed to initiate the booster. So the booster amplifies the energy released by the detonator, and one of the most common booster is the pentolite, and pentolite is a mixture of PETN and TNT. After that, there is a main charge. For example, the most common main charges are the secondary high explosives, and some examples are TNT, C4, ANFO. So now let's move to the question number second. Question number second states that most widely used restrainer anti-foggant during the development process of paper and film is. So let's check the option first. First option is potassium bromide, second is boric acid, third is amidol, and fourth is L-ascorbic acid. So as the question wants to ask is what are the restrainers? So restrainers are the chemicals that prevents unwanted fogging of paper and film during the development process. So the main goal of using restrainer is it slows down the development and preventing the excessive darkening of negatives and paper. So the most common restrainer is potassium bromide. So let's move to the explanation part. As I already told you, the restrainers prevent unwanted fogging of the paper and film and how it can be done. So it slows down the development and preventing excessive darkening of negatives and paper. That is what I told you earlier. And after that, the most common is the potassium bromide. Now moving to the question number three. Question number three is an assertion reason question. Assertion says Leo crystal violet amido black diaminobenzidine dab luminol and fucin acid reagents are used to enhance impressions. The statement is correct. They are used to enhance impressions. And reason these methods can enhance only non-bloody footwear impressions. So as you know, Leo crystal acid amido black or dab luminol all are work when there is protein present, majorly the blood. So reason is not correct. So for this, the option A is correct, but option R is incorrect. So third will be the correct answer. And I already told you that all these are used to enhance blood impressions. So that's why the reason is incorrect. Moving to the question number four, which chemical phenomena or method is used to make tough glasses, which is a type of safety glass? So let's check the option first. Non-template annihilation, ion exchange, electrophoresis, electroplating. And for this, the correct answer is ion exchange. So now let's check the explanation part. Toughened or tempered glass are the flat glasses, or you can say simple soda lime glasses that are processed by tempering or called toughing. So what this tempering and toughing do is it makes the glass harder to break, and if they break, they get into this or get diced. So there are two processes involved for their development. First is the rapid heat and cooling method, which is also known as float method, in which annihilation takes place, and this rapid heating and cooling cause contraction stress that result in tempered glass. And second method is chemical toughing via ion exchange. So in this method, small ions in the soda lime glasses are get replaced by the larger ions. So the most common is replacing sodium ions with the potassium ions. And Let's check it with this. As you see, it is an example of soda glasses and it has sodium ions. So in ion exchange method, these sodium ions are replaced with potassium ones. So what does it do? Similar to the rapid heating and cooling method, this transition from the sodium to potassium ions create a compression strength and which again result in the temperatures. Moving to the question number 5, phenolphthalein used in trap cases is replaced by a mixture of phenolphthalein and dash so that the resulting pink color doesn't fade for the years. So let's check the options. Now, first is the benzoic acid, second is phenol, third is hydroquinone, and fourth is sodium carbonate. And the correct answer is hydroquinone. Now move to the explanation part. So phenolphthalein. So phenolphthalein is an indicator that turns pink in alkaline condition, and the major disadvantage is this pink color fades over time. So for to prevent this fading, a small amount of hydroquinone, 100:2, is added. So what is hydroquinone? Hydroquinone is a colorless powder and it doesn't give pink color in alkaline conditions. So hydroquinone is itself a colorless powder and it doesn't add any color in alkaline conditions. So all the pink color is only from the phenolphthalein. And now let's check how it works. So hydroquinone inhibits the aryl oxidation. So as you know, the when the chemical sits for a long time, it goes through the oxidation phase, aryl oxidation. So it prevents that aryl oxidation. Apart from that, there is another powder also called anthracene powder, and it is also used for the trap cases. And it has two advantage. First is its colors doesn't fade away, and second, it gives clear fluorescence under UV light. So when observing an anthracene powder, it gives blue fluorescence. It gives blue fluorescence when it is pure, and it shows yellow and green fluorescence when it is impure and it contains tetracene, naphthacene, or etc. These types of compound, then it will give yellow and green color. So now let's move to the question number 6. The correct order of analysis of petrol using TLC method. A. Activation of TLC plate. B. Development and separation of petrol spot inside the TLC chamber. C. Application of petrol spot to the TLC plate. D. Visualizing of developed TLC plate by using spraying reagent. E. Calculation RF value. So these are the options. So let's find the correct order. And as you know, for TLC method, the first thing is to activate the TLC plate and followed by the spotting. That is the option C. So it's A, C. And after that, there is a separation takes place. So it will be the option B. And after that, visualizing of developed TLC plate. So the option will be D. And lastly, the calculating the RF value. So answer is A, C, B, D, E. So the option 2 is correct. So now let's move to the explanation part. TLC plate needed to be activated and it is done by heating. So first question will be the why we need to activate TLC plate. As you know, TLC plate is made up of silica, and with time, the silica gel over the TLC plate absorbs the vapors and get inactivated. So to make it active and ready for the TLC analysis, we have to incubate the TLC plate for the 30 minutes, and after that, we have to cool it down using a desiccator. Now, as the TLC plate is ready, now we have to spot some reference sample and given sample. And in this, the given sample is petrol. And we have to spot the TLC plate. And after that, this TLC plate is put in a chamber with a solvent so that these spots get separated or get traveled to the solvent front. So third will be the separation of compound. And the fourth step is spraying the TLC with visualizing agent. As you know, the TLC is also used for separation of the inks. So in ink, there is no need of visualizing agents because they are mostly the dyes and they are clearly visible and they doesn't need a visualizing agent. But for chemicals or for a mixture, which is usually the clear solution, such as petrol or kerosene or diesel, we have to use some visualizing agents so it can enhance the solvent front. After that, the last step is by calculating the RF value, and RF value is the ratio of the solute distance traveled by the solvent distance. And by measuring the RF, we can determine or identify a chemical present in a sample. Now, let's move to the question number 7. What is the name of the portable vapor detector that provides a rapid screening test for the volatile organic compound at a crime scene? Now let's check the options. First is amplicon, second is sniffer, third is gel dog system, and fourth is radar. And for this, the correct answer is sniffer. And here is an example of a sniffer, or you can say that portable a vapor detector, and it has three-part system. First, it has nozzle. Second, it has filament chamber inside the module, and third is the deflection meter, which shows how much of vapor concentration are present in the air. So the process involved is that the this nozzle area sucks or captures the air, which is then passed to the heating filament, and then if a combustible vapor is present, it oxidizes and immediately increase the temperature. So when the temperature increases, there is a deflection in this meter, and the extent of the deflection shows the concentration of volatile compounds in the air. So now let's move to the next question, which is question number 8. Which of the following are the correct options? A. Double-barreled shotguns with hammerless action have the hammers enclosed inside the body of action. Saloon pistols are sometimes sold as toy pistol. The Derringer is a single-shot pistol of a small caliber, usually 0.22 inches. Option D. Ejection of the fired cases is brought about by a special lock mechanism which comes into action whether the hammer falls or not. And here are the options: A and B, A and C, B and C, and C and D. So the correct option is A and B. Now let's check why A and B are correct. First of all, double-barrel shotguns. So what are double-barrel shotguns? So double-barrel shotguns are two-bore system which are usually arranged side by side, or in India we call it Dunali, which is most common name. And after that, there is a over and under. There is over and under arrangement. They are rare and they are not commonly used. And both type of shotguns have hammer or hammerless action. And in hammerless action, the hammer is inside the body, so hammer is enclosed inside the body. That's why the option number A is correct. After that, the saloon pistols. So first of all, what are the saloon pistols? Saloon pistols or rifles have a smooth bore weapon system and usually have the 0.22 caliber. So they have 0.22 caliber, and they are usually short range and limited accuracy. Talking about the cartridges used in these firearms, which are usually the rimfire, and the most common known rimfire cartridge for saloon pistols are called bulleted caps. Apart from them, saloon pistols are marketed as toy pistols. So the correct answer is A and B. Now let's check why the option C and D are incorrect. So let's check the option C. The Derringer is the single shot pistols. This is correct. It is a single shot pistol. This is correct. And has a small caliber. But no, this is incorrect. It has a large caliber and the caliber is usually the double. It's at 0.44. So the correct form of option number C is the Derringer is a single shot pistol that are usually of large caliber, typically 0.41 or 0.44. Now check the correct form of statement D. Ejection of the fired case is brought about by a special lock mechanism which only comes into action when hammer is false. So as the question says, the special lock mechanism which comes into play whether the hammer falls or not. But the correct will be the it only works when the hammer falls. That's why the option C and D are incorrect. Now let's move to the question number 9. The identification of unknown writing depends on the similarities between the writing habits. So what are the writing habits? Writing habits are the unique characteristics or patterns in a person's handwriting manifest in it and the known writings. So known writings are the documents or the reference samples whose authorship is confirmed. So A is correct. Second, the similarities between the writing habit manifest in it and the non-admitted standards. So what are the non-admitted standards? These are the reference samples that have no confirmed identity. So the option numbers B is incorrect because non-admitted standards can't be used for the comparison or identification purposes. So now option number C, the nature and the range of variations must be looked into in the known and unknown writing. This is the correct nature and the range of variation must be looked because as we already know natural variation is a must to look a thing, when comparing handwritings. So option C is correct. Moving to the option number D, writing variation should not be considered. This is wrong. Writing variation must be considered, and it is also very important because one can't replicate the same thing again and again because there are some variations with the time. So writing variation should be considered. And these are the options, and the correct answer is A and C only. Now let's check why option B and D are incorrect. And option B is incorrect because non-admitted standards are the samples writing not attributable to the source in question, so can't be used for the identification purposes. And for option number D is incorrect because writing variation is an important factor to consider in making identification because natural variations are one of the key characteristics. Now let's move to the question number 10, which says which of these correct for the agarose gel used to run the genomic DNA. First, a single nucleotide difference in the length of DNA fragments can be resolved. Second, it is a linear polymer composed of alternating residue D and L galactose. C, it is formed by polymerization and cross-linking reaction. And D, a low concentration of agarose in a gel form larger pores. So let's check the options. A and D only, B and C only, A and C only, B and D only. So the correct answer for this question is B and D only. So B and D are the correct answer. So let's check the explanation part. And first of all, let's talk about agarose. So agarose being a linear polymer and that is primarily made up of alternating residues of D and L galactose. So this makes the option number B correct. And after that, a low concentration of agarose in the gel result in the formation of large pores. So this makes option D also correct. So now let's take a look why A and C are incorrect. So now let's look into why statement A is wrong. A single nucleotide difference in the length of DNA fragments can be resolved. This is wrong because in agrosel it has low resolutions and it can't be used to differentiate between the single nucleotide difference. And after that, option C is incorrect because it is already stated in the option B, it forms linear polymer. So that's why the option C is incorrect. And one more thing, these option A and C is related to polyacrylamide gel. And let's talk about polyacrylamide gel. So polyacrylamide gel have a higher resolution power than agarose gel and it forms matrix by polymerizing and cross-linking. So option C states about the how a polymerized gel forms matrix. And after that, one major advantage of polyacrylamide gel is they are specifically used for low molecular weight DNA. And the most common type of analytic method is PAGE, which stands for polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. So using polyacrylamide gel serves a higher resolution power than agarose gel, specifically when it comes to a low concentrate weight DNA molecules. Now let's move to the question number 11. The three basic hair types that are present on the human body are classified as vellus, intermediate, and dash. And the options are branched, terminal, lugged, and cinged. So the correct answer is terminal. So let's check the explanation part. Human hair can be classified as vellus, intermediate, and terminal hair. So what are the vellus hairs? Vellus hairs are present in both children and adult, and they are characterized by the fine, short, non-pigmented hairs, and they are found majorly on the eyelids and forehead. After that, their growth is unaffected by the hormone. And moving to the terminal hair is influenced by hormones and changes during puberty. So when a person hits the puberty, these types of hair tends to grow more, and these are characterized by the coarse, long pigmented, with long cross-section areas, and they are majorly present on the scalp, beard, eyebrows, eyelashes, armpit, and the pubic areas. After that, there is an intermediate hair. It has both. It has the characteristics of both vellus and terminal hair, and they are usually present on the arms and legs of the adult. Now let's move to the question number 12. Pyrolysis gas chromatography is the most suitable technique used to distinguish most paint binder formulation. This is the correct statement. For statement number second, infrared spectroscopy can be used to distinguish paint binders formulation. This is also the correct statement. So for this statement first, that is both statement first and statement second is correct. Now let's check why. What is the why statement first and second is correct. First of all, pyrolysis gas chromatography. So what happens is when the paint sample is subjected to pyrolysis, it get decomposed thermally into the small volatile compounds, and which is then separated using chromatography. And that's why and it is one of the preferred method for the most paint binders, and that's why the statement first is correct. Second statement, infrared spectroscopy can be used to distinguish the paint binder's formulation. Yes, this is also correct, because and the most common the infrared spectroscopy method is the FTIR, Fourier transfer infrared spectroscopy, which is used to identify paint binders by analyzing their unique infrared absorption patterns. So now let's move to the question number 13. Arrange the proper sequence, the steps followed for the isolation of DNA from bones. A is drilling, B is cleaning of the bones, C is lysis, D is the decalcification, and E is the precipitation. So before jumping to the options, let's find the sequence first. So as you know, the first step will be the cleaning of the bone. This is used to remove dirt or contaminants. And after that, the drilling is used. So examiner can obtain the bone powder from the hard interior of the bone. And after that, the decalcification takes place. And what does the decalcification does? It removes the minerals such as calcium. And after that, the lysis will be takes place. So it breaks down the cells in and release the DNA. So it is the option number 4. And after that, the last step is the precipitation. It helps to concentrate the DNA samples by precipitate out the cellular materials, leaving behind the DNA only. So the correct option will be the B, A, D, C, E. Now let's take the options, and the third will be the B, A, D, C, and E. So it is the correct answer. Here is the explanation part. I already stated. First is the cleaning of the bone that removes any dirt. Second is drilling that is used to remove the hard interior of the bone. After that, decalcification is done because, as you know, the bones are mostly made up of calcium. So decalcification removes the calcium and give access of cellular material. And after that, the lysis will take place. It breaks down the cells and release the DNA. And precipitation helps to remove all the cellular materials, leaving behind the DNA in concentrated form. Moving to the question number 14. Statement 1, one of the types of the brain that is cortical or cerebral death, where there is a intact brain stem. So this is the correct statement. In cortical or cerebral death, there is an intact brainstem. Now let's check the statement second. It produces a vegetative state in which the respiration continues. Respiration continues, but there is a total loss of the power of perception by senses. This is also correct because in cortical or cerebral death, respiration continues, but there is a loss of the senses. So statement first and statement two both are correct, and the correct answer for this will be the option number 1. Now let's check the explanation part. So let's check what are the different types of brain death. First is the cortical or cerebral death, in which there is an intact brainstem, but there is a total loss of the perception of senses, but respiration continues. And the second type of death is brainstem death. In this, all the function of brainstem have permanently and inversely ceased. Thus, there is also the stoppage of the loss of spontaneous breathing due to the loss of brainstem. And one of the popular method that is used to diagnose brainstem death is the apnea test. So, in apnea test, a person is disconnected from the mechanical ventilator for a short period of time, and if there is no attempt to breathe spontaneously, then the person is diagnosed brain death. After that, the third is the whole brain death, in which the permanent cessation of the all function of cerebral cortex, cerebrum, and brain stem. So these are the three types of brain death. First is the cortical, there in which there is intact brain stem, the person can breathe. And second is the brain stem death, and third is the whole brain death, in which the all functions such as cerebral cortex, cerebrum, brain stems all are dead. Moving to the question number 15. Dash is the highest judicial tribunal for the district and is located in the district headquarters. So let's check the option. First is the Supreme Court. As you know, Supreme Court is the highest court in India and it is located in the Delhi. And the second option is executive magistrate. So as you know, executive magistrate is not a court; it is an official with certain judiciary power. So this can't be a correct answer. After that, the High Court, as you know, every state usually have a High Court, and it is located at the state level. After that, the fourth option is Session Court, which has a jurisdiction over a district. So the highest judicial authority at district level is the Session Court. So this is the correct answer. And one more thing, as I already told, executive magistrate is an official with certain judicial power. So it can't be the correct answer. Moving to the question number 16, serum ethyl glucuronide concentration of greater than 5 milligram per liter is indication of first, recent past consumption of heroin. Second, the recent past poisoning with the chloral hydrate. Third, recent past consumption of chloroform. Fourth, recent past consumption of alcoholic beverages. So the correct answer will be the option number 4, recent past consumption of alcoholic beverages. Now, first of all, what is the cerium ethyl gluconide? Cerium ethyl gluconide is a direct metabolite of the ethanol, and it is used as a biomarker. It is used as a biomarker for the identification of alcohol consumption, and when its concentration is more than 5 milligram, it is an indication of moderate to heavy drinking. Now, let's move to the question number 17. Fizz test is used to check the presence of which of the following component of the soil. So let's check the option. First is carbonate, second is gypsum, third is organic matter, and fourth is oxide. Now, check what is the Fizz test. So Fizz test involves treating the soil. So if the soil sample is subjected to treat with the dilute HCl. So when the soil is treated with dilute HCl, it reacts with the carbonates that are present in the soil and gives carbon dioxide gases. So the correct answer is carbonate. Now, there is a reaction involved in Fizz test. Calcium carbonate, as you know, the most common carbonate is the calcium carbonate that is present in the soil. So when we added dilute HCl, it get converted into calcium chloride, carbon dioxide. There is a release of carbon dioxide and H2O. And this release of CO2 gives a fizzing sound or effervescence, and which is the basic of the Fizz test. Now let's move to the question number 18, which is the last. Any attempt to contact legitimate user of the target system and trick them that can be used by the intruder to break into the computer is referred to as. So let's move to the options. First is attack. It can't be the correct because it doesn't specify anything rather than just attack. Second is the SQL injection. So SQL injection is a type of hacking in which SQL databases are injected with a specific code to destroy the databases. And third is the social engineering. So social engineering is the correct answer for this. Now let's check the explanation part. So first is social engineering. So social engineering involves cyber criminals trick legitimate users into giving out information that can be used by the intruder to gain unauthorized access to the system. So in this, a legitimate user gives out the information to the criminal, and they think that the cyber criminals are the legitimate users or they are going to help them. And there is another example of social engineering, for example, and they pretend to be a computer technician and trying to fix your problem. So in that case, they usually install some web view apps on your system and try to steal your data. And there is another concept related to social engineering, that is reverse social engineering, and in which the attackers set up a scenario where the target organization's individual contact the attacker for assistance, often by creating the perception that the attacker's is trusted figure or the source of help. And the third is the phishing. Phishing is a form of social engineering. So it is a subtype of social engineering and scam in which the attackers attempt to trick user. They are trying to trick users by doing the wrong things, such as clicking bad links. And the most common one is the e-commerce stores, for example, Flipkart and Amazon. The hackers or the attackers build a landing page similar to the Amazon on Flipkart, and they are pretending to be the official Amazon or Flipkart pages and try to sell you products at the 90% discount or even the 99% discount. So when you click on that links, they will ask you for your username and password, and when you give your username and password, they will steal that username and password and get into your Amazon account and use your wallet's money. And this is the common type of attack nowadays. So social engineering is a broad topic in which the phishing also comes, and it so it might be confusing. So let's re-revise it. Social engineering is a broad topic in which phishing is also a social engineering. So in which the cyber criminals trick users to give information. So it is social engineering. And reverse social engineering is in which the user itself reaches the cyber criminal and give their information. So this is the major difference in social engineering. Cyber attacks reaches users, but in reverse, users itself reaches hackers. For example, support number for your bank, and those numbers are from hackers. And when you call them and give your information, then it will be called reverse social engineering. So I hope you get the difference between social engineering and reverse social engineering. And with this, this video is over now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And if you like our content, I will highly recommend you to subscribe. And with your support, we will try to make more videos like it. Thank you.